Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. This is OXEvo, and this is my very first Genshin Impact video. So this is basically a very vague beginner's guide, but I just want to take like a little bit of a different spin on it, and I'm kind of talking about it more vaguely. So I know that this game has been out for a while and there has been plenty of beginner guides made, but this is just for really new players who are just starting out, or anyone who kind of started the game but quitted because they didn't really know what to do. And it's also just for fun purposes. I'll be talking about different sections and I will put timetables in the description if you want to just skip to certain parts. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so getting started in the game, you will meet this badass godlike chick. She's going to take one of your siblings. Depending on who you choose, you can choose either the girl or the boy. Doesn't matter. Choose your preference. It really doesn't matter. They're both going to be trash. After that point, no matter who you choose, you get separated from your other sibling. Yes, I know, it's very, very sad. And it's actually, I really like the lore, I really do. It's just I want to summarize this as much as I can. After that, you meet your guide, who is Paimon. She's a really cute little adorable creature. I don't know what she is exactly, actually, I'm not gonna lie. But you just follow her instructions, you go around. Then after a certain time, as you keep going on, you will meet a big-ass dragon. This dragon becomes important to the story, remember it. And you also catch a little glimpse of Venti. He's also important to the story, but you keep moving on forward until you meet Amber. Amber is a really cute, adorable little girl who uses a bow and arrow with fire, except she's horrible, sadly. After that, you will reach Mondstadt. Mondstadt is the main city. It's based off of Germany, I guess, if you want to know about it, but it doesn't really matter. So once you reach there, you're going to fight the big-ass dragon. After you defeat him, it doesn't take that long, don't worry, it's actually not that hard, but after you defeat that dragon, that's when the game really starts. You go meet up with Master Jean and Lisa, and after that point, you can actually start accessing the features of the game, such as summoning and so on. So that's really the introduction to the game. I know I did a horrible job at explaining it, but I don't want to really spoil too much, so I just kind of gave an idea of what to expect. But yes, I do recommend everyone going to download it. It's a really fun game. Moving on, we will be going into exploration. Exploration in this game takes a pretty damn long time. You run around, look for Geoculies and Homunculies. They're really important, they raise your stamina so that stuff like this doesn't happen. Or that stuff like this doesn't happen. So yeah, that's actually very, very important to do. And also, when you open up chests, you have a chance for it to be 2 to 10 Primogems, usually around nothing. So keep that in mind as you run around worlds of Mondstadt and Liyue. So yeah, 2 to 10 Primogems or nothing. Great deal, great deal. While you're hunting for treasure chests, don't forget your hunter-gatherer skills and do pick up these rocks and the flowers and anything that nature has to offer you, because they are actually used to level up your characters. So yeah, they actually become quite important. Further down, you may also run into a Seelie. Seelies are, I don't know what they are, but they're little blue floating things that you follow around. And they also give you a chest with potentially 2 to 10 Primogems. Another important thing to exploration is exploring the map. Yes, do unlock the Statue of Sevens, and yes, also unlock the tiny teleport spots. Another thing to keep in mind is that you don't actually know what's around you until you unlock a Statue of Seven. And before you even have that, your map might look like this. A big black void of nothing. Oh, another side note, domains also act as teleport locations. However, you have to be around Adventure Rank 15 or so to even start unlocking them, so keep that in mind. So exploration is kind of broken down here. You can do other things too, like you can open up chests with elemental puzzles. Maybe you can even blow yourself up with some barrel bombs. Who knows? Whatever happens, happens. But sometimes you may also just jump off a cliff because you're so done with everything else. Next up, we're going to talk about artifacts. The game kind of starts you off with artifacts that you should never use in your life, but you will have to in the beginning because there's nothing else to do. However, as you keep moving on into the story, you will start unlocking the Berserker, the Exile, Instructor, maybe even Gladiators or Wanderer's Troop. Use those! Don't use these. Got it? Okay, cool. How to level them up? You go on Enhance. You can either auto-add other artifacts to level it up, or you can manually select them. I tend to auto-add them, but sometimes, when you're in the lower ranks, it's not good to do that, because then you'll be left with no artifacts. So be careful, choose wisely. But artifacts become much better as you get a much higher adventure rank. Also, do not grind artifacts until you're about AR 45. Moving on to weapons. Weapons are much like artifacts. You kind of level them up the same way, except you use these little purple crystal thingies. Use those. Do not use your 3-star weapons because you probably don't have anything else. I know it's a pain, but trust me, you do not have anything else, especially not now if you're just starting out. Alright, other than that, we have some basic theories in this game like science and nature. If you see an enemy that's made out of lightning, don't be an idiot and don't use lightning to fight it. Use ice, or fire, or even water. Anything but lightning. Same goes with the other. If you see ice, don't fight it with ice. Use fire, or lightning. Maybe water's not a great idea, but use fire and lightning. So just use your knowledge of the world around you and you'll be fine. You will understand how fights work. There are some characters who don't care about elements, such as this lady right here, Eula. She uses physical damage. While that's quite rare and it's not really favored in this game, she still does it and she does a great job at it. So yeah, the combat system is pretty simple. It's not that complicated in this game, at least in my opinion. You will get the hang of it, really. Just give it a try and keep going on. Practice makes perfect, you know? Next up, we will talk about what characters to use in the beginning of the game. So the game is quite generous in giving you characters that sadly rank on the lower end of a tier list, but that's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, this game isn't that hard. You can really use anyone that you like, or you like how they look, or whatever you have, because it doesn't matter. However, if you're someone like me who cares about meta and cares about being very, very OP or strong in the game, then you're probably gonna want to stay away from them. However, they are cool, you know, they look cool, they have cute designs, I guess, they look great, but the characters that I prefer not to level up would be Amber, Kaya, sadly, unless you actually get him to higher constellations, then he actually becomes pretty darn good. He's actually, you know, Kaya is the one out of those that I actually consider to be better. Lisa is meh, and you also get Barbara. Barbara is a good healer, and that's about it. She can't really do much. But in the beginning, do use them. Do use them. Don't just use nothing. Do use them. However, the game also gives you Zhangling. She's actually a great option. She's a pretty good DPS. She can do pretty decent things in the game. However, I do recommend any other 4-star that you can get in the future that's summonable. They tend to be overall better in all cases, almost all cases. So keep that in mind. So if you happen to get a Bennett, yes, level him up. He's actually one of the best characters in the game. If you happen to get Sucrose, yes, level her up. She's one of the best support characters in the game. If you happen to get Diona, yes, do level her up. She's great. She can heal and she can give you a shield, which allows you to not die so easily, which is also great. If you happen to get Shincho, he's an amazing Hydro sub DPS. Do use him. If you happen to get Razor, he's a great main DPS. So you see kind of the role I'm getting on here. And of course, if you happen to get a 5-star character out of luck, then yeah, do use them. They're great. 5-star characters are great. Do you need them? No. Are they great to have? Yes. But moving forward, everyone wants a 5-star character. Let's be real here. Let's not lie. That's what we're here for. We want a 5-star character. So that kind of explains a little bit more about characters, but it's just really, it all comes down to preference. It doesn't matter. So moving on, the way you actually level up these characters is quite simple. Let me go to a character who's, let's say Chi-Chi, for example. If I want to make her level 70, let's say, I would go all the way up. Now, good Heroes Wit management, Heroes Wits are the books that allow you to go on a higher level. So good Heroes Wit management would be to not go all the way up to the max with the purple Heroes Wits, but only go one before. So after you do that, then you would fill in the gaps with the lower rank ones. That's just to save you some experience points, and it's just a good way to really maximize your grind's worth. So some other things I want to touch bases on is how you actually ascend the character. So let's say Razor, for example. For him, I would need to do Lightning Prism or to fight the Electro Hypostasis and get other materials. So one thing I want to tell you is this is a good way to get information of what to do. You can go to your Adventurer's Handbook and you could go here to Enemies. Here you could find Electro Hypostasis. It tells you what you can get from it, and you can also tell you where to go to find it. So that's a very beneficial tool for anyone who's just starting out. And yeah, that's really it to leveling up your characters. Next up, I want to talk about summoning. So summoning is a little bit interesting in this game. You unlock it after you talk to Jean and Lisa, as I told you earlier. But what you do is, how do I even get started in this? There's so many systems that I can't even shorten it down. So you have the basic banner, which uses Acquaint Fates, and you also have limited banners that uses Intertwined Fates. This one, the Standard Wish Wanderlust Invocation, is the one that uses the Acquaint Fates, or the blue coins, whichever one you want to call it. I call it blue coins because it's easier to say than Acquaint Fates. So, from now on I'll be calling it blue coins. You do get 10 blue coins from downloading the game. Great, you can do a multi-summon. The chances of you getting a 5-star anything, a weapon, or a character is about 0.6%. Yeah. That's not a lot. You are guaranteed a 4-star character at least or higher when you do a multi-summon. So to explain the summons in this game, it works like this. You build up a thing called pity. A pity is the game feels sorry for you because you did not get a 5-star character sooner than what was guaranteed. Yeah, so they actually feel sorry for you, and as they should, they give you a 5-star character or a weapon in this banner. So my recommendation, don't use your Primogems on this banner because you do get blue coins just from leveling up, just from leveling up your adventure rank, or just doing anything really. Yeah, you get more blue coins than Intertwined Fates. So this banner, just use what the game gives you. I wouldn't really use Primogems unless you're like very close to a pity and you're just like, okay, I want a gold, whatever it is. Okay, I guess, yeah, go ahead and do it, but overall, don't. Weapons banner. If you're planning to be free to play, don't do it because it's kind of a scam. There's actually no guarantee that you will get the weapon that you want because, like, oh, how do I even explain this? So you can even build up pity and it's one or the other, and it's gonna keep being one or the other, one or the other. There's no way for you to get the one that you want. So skip it if you're free to play. Don't if you're, well, I mean, yeah, if you're pay to win, it doesn't matter. So these are the limited banners or character event wishes. This is Leaves in the Wind right now. Kazuha is here. He's a great unit. If you want to, yes, go summon on him. He's an amazing support character. He can even be a damage dealer, I guess. If you want him to be, he won't be the best, but yeah, I guess you could use him as such. And the way the summoning really works, this is what I will be explaining here. There's the 50-50 in the pity system. So let's say you build up your pity. Soft pity happens around 75 summons. You're guaranteed to get a 5-star character at 90 summons. In this banner, you can only get 5-star characters. Versus here, you can get a 5-star weapon or a character. So here, the 5-star characters that are available, you have Kazuha, and the other ones are Mona, Chi-Chi, Diluc, Jean, and Keqing. Moving on. So, if the first 5-star character you pull isn't Kazuha, but is one of the other ones that I have mentioned, then your next 5-star will be guaranteed to be Kazuha because you have lost the 50-50. The next one will be guaranteed to be the limited time character. So I guess that kind of explains it. Now, you might be wondering, okay, wait, so if I didn't get the limited time character, then I just lost my 50-50. So I just can't get a limited time character next? Well, no, the good thing is actually it carries over. So let's say you have lost your 50-50, you got, let's say, Chi-Chi. RIP first of all, but second, the next banner that will be coming out, whoever it is, the next gold you will pull is guaranteed to be that limited character. So yes, it's kind of a good system. Be wary of it. Always count up when you got your last 5-star and who it was. So keep that in mind. Another thing to look out for is who's on these limited time banners. Right now, it's Bennett, Razor, Rosaria. It's actually an amazing banner. Summon on it, even if you don't want a 5-star character, even if you just want those 4-stars. Yeah, summon on it. You have Razor, amazing. Rosaria, amazing. Bennett, really amazing. So, yeah, I just kind of want to touch bases on summoning. Yeah, it's actually a little complicated in this game. It's not like other gacha games. In this chapter, we will be talking about quests. You have a couple different types of quests. You have Archon quest, Archon quest, Archon. Well, whatever it is, you have one of those. You have story quests. You have world quests and commissions. Just to explain these a little bit better, Archon quests are the ones that will fuel the main story. Then you have world quests. World quests are just side quests that the game gives you. They can give you some great rewards. They're little fun little side stories. Some are better than others. Some rewards are better than others. Sometimes they can give you some nice primogems. Other times it doesn't. Then you have story quests. These are usually to get to know a character specifically better. I actually really enjoy these. Most of the times they're really fun. And story quests are like side quests, but they're canon, if you will. Yeah, that's about it. You can also unlock story quests by completing your daily commissions. Now, your commissions are basically your dailies. It's your activities to do in a day that will grant you some primogems. If you complete all 4 in a day, you will get a total of 60 primogems and a few other rewards, which is good. This actually becomes your day-to-day life in Genshin Impact after you're done with all of the story. It's a little sad during those times, but it's also fun. It's sad fun. It's a circus over here, but we enjoy it. So that kind of explains quests. It's pretty simple. Just, whatever pops up in your quest menu, just do them. Yeah, there's really not much else to say about them. So those are your quests. Next up, this is a new feature that has came out about a month ago. Your Serenitea Pot. You unlock this when you're about Adventure Rate 35, when you're done with most of the story quests. And basically, just overly simplified, it's Animal Crossing meet Genshin Impact. That's about it. You go in there, you can craft furniture, you can place them, you can build your own home, you can customize it however you want. You can even place your characters that you have like little villagers. It's literally Animal Crossing meets Genshin Impact. It's fun, it's cool to do. You even have furniture sets that suit those set characters, and they start giving you presents like primogems and so on and so forth. I actually haven't tested it out myself. I haven't got around to it because I've been focusing on other things in the game, but yeah, I should do that because primogems are primogems and they're scarce. They're hard to get. Yeah, it's sad times here. It's very, very sad times. Next up, we'll be talking about the Spiral Abyss. So the Spiral Abyss is the event that everyone aspires to complete because floor 12 most of the times is kind of impossible to defeat, especially if you're not level 90 and have the best of the best artifacts. I mean, you can beat it, but it becomes very hard if you're just not that strong. So the point of Spiral Abyss is that every 2 weeks you get... Okay, so in Spiral Abyss, you have floors 1 to 12. Floors 1 to 8 are fixed. Once you do them, they're done. They never get updated, never get changed. You get 300 primogems per every floor from 1 to 8, so that's a total of 2400 primogems. Yay! Okay, we get 1.5 multi-summons. Very great. No, it's actually pretty darn generous. It really is. So whenever you can, do complete that. It will give you more primogems to spend on limited time banners. Other than that, floors 9 to 12, they get updated every 2 weeks, and if you complete all from 9 to 12, you'll get about 600 primogems. It's actually still pretty good every 2 weeks, but, it does get pretty difficult. For me, realistically, I can only do floors 9 through 11. So yeah, floor 12, I've never been able to beat it. Moving forward, wow, what else is there to really talk about in this game? I mean, your days, your life after you're done with all the quests, your life after you're done with all the story quests, Archon quests, world quests. What's it like over here? Well, let me paint you a sad picture. You wake up, you drink your coffee, maybe smoke a cigarette, I don't know, I don't judge. Go use the restroom, maybe even go to work, depends on how old you are. Or maybe you don't go to work, it's a pandemic. Maybe you do something, but then a thought comes. Wow, let me log into Genshin Impact, let's see what's going on. Oh, right, nothing. You log on, you do your daily commissions, maybe a few dungeons. Maybe go to your Serenitea Pot, accept those rewards, and start crafting your furniture. And that's about it. Yeah, it's pretty depressed over here nowadays, but it's still fun. You know why? Because we're waiting. Next up, potentially, we're getting a new area called Inazuma. So currently we have Mondstadt and Liyue. Now we're potentially getting a new place called Inazuma, which means we'll probably start getting Electroloculi? Well, whatever we'll be getting those. More treasure chests, more things like that coming soon. So, yeah, that's about it. That's all I really want to talk about. This is my Genshin Impact for Dummies video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys have learned a thing or two. And I tried to simplify things as much as possible without going into too much detail because there were actually a few more things I could have talked about. So yeah, let's leave it off like this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to kind of put a little bit of a light twist on how this game works in kind of like a silly way, but also that it makes sense. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please hit a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And I hope you guys had a good one. Take care. I'll catch you all on my next one. OXEvo is out.